Jacksonville.
Put some respect on my name.
First and foremost, my numbers are better than 15, 16 or so guys that are currently in the Hall.
Here's the handoff to Taylor, looking for some cut back. He finds some room, look at Fred go. He's across the 30, look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80 yards, Fred Taylor.
Talking modern day guys at my position.
When my name come up, respect it. I plan with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
And here's the handoff to Fred looking for the cutback. He's got room right in the middle 10. Fred's in there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 to the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20.
Y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame from a defensive standpoint. Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Look at all these other guys they're trying to put in the Hall of Fame.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor.
Put some respect.
Busting through. Fred Taylor making the cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
These the same dudes that I murked every Sunday.
When my name come up, respect it. I plan with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
But he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
You know, it never gets old hearing that highlight, right, of Fred going the 90 yards, Tommy.
Yeah.
And we hear it often enough here on the show. We still have our standing rule here on Jaguars Today. There's never a bad time for a Fred Taylor highlight.
That's right.
Like, you can throw it in there anytime.
That's right.
And we will be happy to have heard a little bit from Fred. But the more that I hear it, the more my favorite part of that whole call is, again, the guy when he just comes in after the run has started, after he just said they got a big play team and they know they don't, right? Like that kind of, and then the run starts and you just hear this, yep.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Bye-bye.
so awesome.
Yeah, it was great. He was so incredible. And that was an epic opening because you better put some respect in my name. I've seen that clip from that podcast. I forget which one it is, but that's great, man. Great opening. And you're right. That's one thing I don't get about the pro or the Hall of Fame. And I'm not a voter, so I don't know, but why don't you have Hall of Famers that went against them or, played at the same position or whatever that you really respect and let them give their opinion. Like maybe that's enough to you're like, well, listen, if Ray Lewis steps up and says Fred Taylor was the toughest running back that I've ever had to go against, he absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Probably going to have some guys go, well, okay, maybe so. You know what I mean? I don't know. To me, they should have some say in the matter, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I don't know how you get to that point, wrangle it away from the people who actually have the vote to expand where that, kind of power is going to be.
I wouldn't take any votes away from people, the voters, but let those guys at least come in and have their say, as much as you can.
I can remember, and I know I've talked about this kind of thing before. I know Sam was getting a real hard time from fans when Tony wasn't getting in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kavaris was getting a real hard time from fans. And I was one year, the Hall of Fame actually put the stump speeches that all the presenters do.
Yep.
And they put them all online for us to watch them if we wanted to. I was like, let me watch what's going on with this so I can compare it, right? Like, how good or bad a job is Sam actually doing with this? Mm-hmm. I know what everyone's reaction to it was. Tony didn't get in. It's his fault, right? You got to blame it on somebody.
Right.
Right? So you blame it on that. And I watched all the presentations and I was like, Sam's is better than most that I saw that year for Tony. And a lot of them, some guys, it's easy.
Yeah.
You're the guy presenting Peyton Manning. It comes to you go, Peyton Manning.
Right.
And they just move on in the room.
Right. They're done in like 5 minutes, if not less.
You don't need to even have the speech together. Right. For some of these guys, for a guy like Baselli, you need a whole heck of a lot more than that. And Fred and Jimmy are in the same kind of place where you have to present that this is what Ray Lewis had to say about playing against him. Like, you have to have the guys that played against him and played the same position as him talking about him. Like, the Jim Brown thing should be a big vote in his favor when it comes to Fred Taylor, but I don't know how much any of that. It's also hard once you're in that kind of room. They all have that. Yeah. Right? Like, they all not only have the numbers to be in that room, they also have the other guys that have played the game that are willing to say that about that guy. Like, they all have that kind of backing.
I just think it gives them, little more oomph, to their cause. Yeah. Look, I mean, with Tone, it was years, back when they made it sound like that mattered. And then over time, you're like, well, wait a minute, it doesn't really matter. Look at this person, look at this person, look at Terrell Davis, look at other guys. It didn't, Dwight Stevenson, he played longer than Dwight Stevenson. And then you go games, you're like, well, wait a minute, he played enough games compared to these guys. But for a while, that hurt guys. How long did you play in the NFL? And I think that hurt Tony initially, and then they finally came to their senses. I always thought, I'm like, look, the four guys that are in from his era, Walter Jones, Pace, Willie Roaf, and who's the fourth? Well, no, I already said Walter Jones. There's one other guy. Whatever. So Tony's number 5. If you find that. And I was like, well, Ogden. I was like, he's as good or better than those guys. And I'm not, no disrespect to those guys, because they were incredible players, no question about it, especially Walter Jones. I thought Walter Jones was just an incredible left tackle for Seattle. And then with Fred and Jimmy, look, and it shouldn't come down to this, but it comes down to what? Super Bowls, big plays in Super Bowls. That seems to get you ahead of the game, right? How many Pro Bowls I don't agree with, because the fans are voting. And no disrespect to the fans, but like you vote for your favorites. Yeah. You don't vote for the guy who had the best year. You might, and even if your player didn't have the greatest year, but still a good year, like top 4 or 5, you may still vote him in just because you love him and you like him or like him as a player. So I think it's challenging. And then look, I do think Jacksonville not having that, Super Bowl appearance probably hurts a little bit. But I know this. Those two guys, Jimmy and Fred, they were as good or better than anybody at their positions when they were playing. Yeah. During their whole career of playing, they were as good or better than all of them.
Yeah, I know I talked about it early in the week when I think it was CBS or ESPN. I forget which site. Yeah. Had the thing up with the quarter century team. Yeah. Right? Yeah. In the NFL. Yeah. And the only Jaguars player that got mentioned on there was Calais Campbell as like an honorable mention. Yeah. And when we talked about it on the show on Wednesday, it was from the perspective of how close were Jimmy and Fred, right? When you looked at the other guys that were on that kind of list. And I know I bring this up with Jimmy a lot. Jimmy was the only guy in that era of wide receivers that was basically going head-to-head with Marvin, right? Like, and it was those two guys were neck and neck in a lot of these numbers. Now, Marvin's got the Colts thing going, that's the reason why he's looked at the way that he's looked at. And I do think, as we've talked about several times, it's if 99 had gone differently, I don't think we're waiting on Fred and Jimmy to get in. No. I think they're likely in
right. That's
already. But, those kind of things matter to the people that are doing the voting in the room. Right. The Super Bowl carries a lot of weight, and the Pro Bowls, for whatever reason, carries some weight.
Some weight. Not all. Not all.
No, like the All-Pros is where it's at. Right?
Yes.
First or second team All-Pro, you are the best or the next best player at your position in the whole league.
If you have multiple years of that, I don't know how many you need, but you're in. You're an automatic in. Yeah. That's when the All-Pro, that's what everybody wants. That means you're the best. Ross Matisic is a first-team All-Pro long snapper, right? He is the best in the game. I mean, only so many guys can say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then you say that in other positions, like, wow, that's pretty incredible.
I know we were discussing the hunt and the things that were on there. Yeah. Yesterday, when they released it yesterday, and Matisic was actually had about a 45-second feature on there. All right. And the 45-second feature for Matisic was Logan Cook talking about the mistake he made in not drafting him earlier. Oh. He thought that he could get him a pick or a round later. Yeah. And the way that the hunt that they released yesterday was all about the Iron Jaguars games, as they called it. It was basically the this kind of mini Olympics thing they put together for the Jaguars player in training this offseason. They're all putting in the weight work that they need to put in, but they decided to make it competitive. Right, between these guys. So they picked a captain and kind of a co-captain for all these teams, and it was awesome. A veteran player and a new player to the roster was each of those. I think you get a special parking spot for the top couple of teams. The captains of those teams get that. You don't have to do the conditioning test when you come in, which you could see those guys' eyes. That's
a great incentive,
light
man.
up.
I mean, that's huge. Nobody wants to do the conditioning test when they start camp.
But it was funny. So you have the captain and co-captain, and they're drafting the team. Right, for this competition. And Logan Cook is one of the captains.
Okay.
And he's talking about Matisic specifically. And he's like, he can do all these different things. And then Josh Hines Allen, who took him, is on there. And Josh Hines, he's like, he played some linebacker. And if we have to snap something, it's nice. Nice to have him.
Listen, you see him run down on punt. I mean, he's one of the first. He's the first guy down after snapping the football. I mean, he makes a lot of tackles on special teams, and he's a great athlete. So I'm not surprised by that at all.
I doubt y'all ever did anything that was that as formal as what they were doing with the Jaguars. I'm sure you guys competed with one another in the weight room.
In the weight room, but nothing. We didn't do. I don't remember doing tug of wars and stuff like that out on the field.
But when I was watching it yesterday, I was like, Tommy's got to love this.
Yeah. Well, I saw the highlight film, and I'm like, ooh. So I'm going to watch it. I'll probably watch it this weekend. But man, that's the kind of video I like now. I get into that because listen, that not only are you competing and working out, but you're building this togetherness, right? And it's a togetherness of grit, because you got to push. You got to, especially if you're trying to win those games. But take the games aside. But you're pushing like crazy. You're trying to get stronger and faster and quicker and more flexible and all this other stuff, and then you throw in the games. That just brings, mental and emotional toughness on top of physical toughness too. But it's just that grit, man, and you're growing together, and you're it's just nothing like a good weight room, man. A good weight room session to get your juices flowing.
Yeah, it's fun to watch athletes at the level that an NFL player has to be at competing hard.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like that's always fun. And they competed hard.
Yeah. Listen, I would be enamored by guys in the weight room that could throw. I mean, you're talking about guys that are on the incline bench press with 405, doing it for reps like it's like a feather, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable. Guys should take like 350 pounds, pick it up, throw it over their head, kind of stand there and look at everything, and then just throw it down. We just a really strong guy, and then jumping on boxes. Some guys could jump over the tallest box. I'd whack my shins, and we hurt like crazy. You know what I mean? It was just awesome, and it is. You're talking about elite athletes, and not just football, but we're talking football. These are elite athletes. They're fun to watch. I mean, they're fun. You watch them just even, doing any kind of agility drill. You're like, that's pretty impressive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's fun, man. And I tell you what, it's brilliant that they put the incentive, or one of the incentives is you don't have to do the conditioning test. I'm telling you right now, we had a deal with Coughlin made a deal with us. If you did 90% of the off-season workouts, you didn't have to do the conditioning test, even though you had 5 weeks off, like when you were done. And I mean, I was like 99. I'm like, I don't like that. I did it the first year. I thought I was going to pass out. It was so hard. You think you're in shape for it, and most, look, Aaron Beasley, he'd run them just to run them. Like, he'd be like, I'll do it again. And he'd just bound back and forth, and he could do it all day long. And then we the guys that when we would, since we didn't have to do it, we go out there and watch the rookie linemen, and their low backs would always get really tight, and they start, and you could tell the lactic acids in their thighs, and they could barely move their legs, and that's just the first round, and then they got to do another round of it. Just awesome. But yeah, what a great incentive. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it was funny. Leon was doing crosstalk, and we asked him about that yesterday.
Yeah.
The conditioning test going in Pittsburgh, it got brought up, and he was like, we asked, what did you do for that conditioning test? He's like, well, Damani Dawson, I think it was.
He was awesome.
I think it was 2040s or something like that.
Okay.
Was what they had. They had to run, and Damani Dawson would be the pace that they had to match, or be within, I think, 0.2 seconds.
Oh, my gosh.
And
he was fast.
Yeah, and I was like, so did Damani, like in my head, I was like, did he take it easy on you guys?
Right, yeah. Hey, Damani,
like, what exactly happened? And he's like, basically, he described no mercy. Right? Like, it was just, he went hard, so you had to match it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was an incredible center.
No doubt. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today, asking you to put on a thinking cap a little bit into the future. The Jags, we now know, did not wind up with any players on ESPN top 10 lists these last couple weeks by execs, coaches, and scouts, with 11 different position groups being ranked. How many will be on those lists next year? Respond to us with who makes the list.
Okay.
Your poll option, 0, 1, 2, 3, or more. And for a look back in the past, this is last year when these top 10 lists came out. The Jags had 4 players on them, right? They had 4 last year. They had 0 this year. And one of those 4 was not the quarterback, if you think that that's the one that they kind of snuck in there to get the 4th. That is not who the 4 players were. It didn't include the quarterback, but how many do you think they'll have next year? I assume most people would say at least 1.
Oh, yeah.
With where Brian Thomas Jr. is and the way that people are thinking about him. But we'll get into that as we go throughout the show this morning. Jeremy Fowler, talking about that kind of thing, did put together the list of the guys that were on there last year who weren't on the top 10 list this year. So we can talk a little bit about that and the expectations for bounce backs for some of those guys, specifically for the Jaguars. The 3 that are still here, the 4th was Ingram, that made the top 10 list last year. So we don't have to worry about what Denver's doing with him this season. But we can talk about the other 3 guys as we get it rolling here on a Friday edition of Jaguars Today. Tony Smith, Tom McManus, Dylan Denmark here with you. Mike Dempsey's got one more day on assignment back with us on Monday. We'll be out at training camp, we hope, on Wednesday as the team will be out there. Everyone, the rookies and quarterbacks report tomorrow for training camp, but the veterans will be in on Tuesday, so we're getting ready for training camp still. No doubt about it. We'll get it rolling here on a Friday edition of Jaguars Today next here on 1010XL.
Hey, everybody. Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Man, I may be on vacation. That doesn't mean I don't get hungry, and Dandy's got my back just like they have yours, and they have since 1956. I told you about Dandy and their fine products for a decade now, and I personally enjoyed them for a lot longer than that. Dandy's the perfect go-to when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait. You really can't go wrong, and they're a great value, too, compared to the drive-thru. Fast, fresh, always tasty, and waiting for you at the cold case in convenience stores all over town. As a matter of fact, right down the street from Everbank Stadium is Talleyrand Food Mart, carrying a great selection of Dandy sandwiches. Sam and Gus are the proprietors there. I wonder if any of the local home team ever sneak down there to grab a steakhouse burger. We should check on that. In the meantime, if you're looking for a fresh, quality product, you know the name, the logo with the little guy with the cane, that's Dandy. When you're hungry in Duval, Dandy's the name to know. So do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Helmets and Heels calls on Jags former middle linebacker Tom McManus to elevate your afternoon.
He's the best. Guys got it all.
Join the new Helmets and Heels afternoons from 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
We're professionals. We have a job to do, a season to plan.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyric, Optique, and Vistique.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax type Title 999 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Joe C for Hard Rock Bet, where things are heating up big time for the boys of summer. Download the Hard Rock Bet app right now and swing for the fences with your favorite baseball team and the best odds at Hard Rock Bet. And don't forget, new customers who bet $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Easy to navigate, play to win. Head to Hard Rock Bet right now with odds on every sport waiting for you. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The countdown is on. Save the date because Diamonds Direct's Designer Summer Sale kicks off this Monday, July 21st with 20% off the entire store. Engagement rings, diamond studs, fashion jewelry, and more. Want early access? Book your appointment now because the best pieces go fast. Don't miss the jewelry event of the season next week only at Diamonds Direct and designer appearances July 25th through 27th. Top designers from New York and LA with their exclusive collections. Visit diamondsdirect.com to book your appointment and start saving.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
I'm Max Fink on your Gator station. 1010XL is your pipeline to Gator Nation. Listen to the Gator Report all year round.
Freshened up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators. 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and book your space today.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know.
Mac Smack in the middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
What we've seen and we're not little children.
Tony Smith, Tom McManus, Dylan Denmark here with you on a Friday edition of Jaguars Today. Want to talk a little bit about what Jeremy Fowler, who was the one actually putting out the list, right? The top 10 list. He's the one sending out whatever information to whoever he is, right, across the league for the top 10 list here the last couple of weeks. We talked about the Jaguars that were at least mentioned, right, in the list here over the over this time. It's I've already done my complaining about. I don't know why you wouldn't have a blurb about number 15 on the edge rusher list and Josh Hines-Allen, but we get one about Foye at 19 among off-ball linebackers. What's the deal? Like, can I see what someone might have said, especially coming off the season that Josh Hines-Allen did? I would have liked to have seen the quote from somebody talking about where he is right now. Right? Like, that would have been nice. A whole lot more informative than where Foye is, right, among the off-ball linebackers. But it is what it is. And so it's Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. We're both on the list of the edge
15 and 18, weren't they? Something like that. And Foye was 19?
Foye was 19.
Because he got what? Honorable mention, though, right?
Honorable mention, yeah.
They just got receiving votes, didn't they? Or did they get honorable mention?
Yeah, it's one of those where I think it's in the order of how they receive the votes. They don't put a number next to it past the 10.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, there's the honorable mentions, and then they just list names. Right? But it's pretty much anyone who gets a vote gets listed in the article, which is at least these guys were being mentioned, right, in these different places, and Brian Thomas Jr. was 13 among wide receivers.
And look, I know a lot of people are like, well, Malik Neighbors, I seen there. He had a big year, 4 different quarterbacks. Brian Thomas had 2, so maybe they gave him a little jump. I don't know. Listen, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be top 5 at one time in his career. This kid, he's unbelievable. And if him and Trevor can get some chemistry going, man, and with Travis and Deion, everybody, but he can have another monster year, man. He is that kind of player. Big and fast, can get down the field, can run all the routes without hesitation, without having to gather his feet. One cut. You don't know if he's going deep. He seems like he is every time. He's just that pure wide receiver 1 type player, man. He's gonna have another monster year. As far as Josh Hines-Allen, look, we've been through it. Look, his year last year wasn't as good as the year before. The year before, he was phenomenal. But then it tapered back. So if he brings back another big year, he'll be back in the top 10. I guess that's how they do it. I did something earlier, Tone. I was just looking at that TJ Watt deal, and then I looked at Josh's numbers from 2020, TJ Watt's, Myles Garrett, and Trey Hendrickson. And he's not that far off from them.
No.
You know what I mean? As far as totals, and I don't have them in front of me, or I do, but it's in my book. I'm not going to win. I'm going to talk about it on my podcast more. But he's like in the low 30s, and they're all low 40s or higher. So it's not tremendous amount. And Watt had the injury year, right? He had the 1 year he only had 5 sacks. Was that 2 years ago, I think? He only had 11.5 last year, which is crazy.
And I think when you look at the list, right, going back to when they put that edge rush list out, and you look at we can get into the bottom end of the top 10 and where we feel like Josh Hines-Allen's might compare to those guys, but the honorable mentions they had, Brian Burns, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Grenard, George Karlaftis. Right? It's not like I feel like any of those guys are solidly above
Run them by
Josh
me.
Hines-Allen.
Benito was a rookie last year, so I don't know why rookie. I mean, I don't know. Like having the best year, that's different than being the best. So how can a rookie, you know what I mean? And he had a great year. He had 13, 12 sacks, something like that, 11, somewhere in that range for Kansas City.
But Burns, Grenard, and Karlaftis.
I mean, they're all good.
They're all good players.
They're all good, yeah, but they're not better than Josh Hines-Allen.
No, and then you get to the bottom end of the actual top 10. Jared Verse, who had a monster year.
Right.
Obviously, Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Anderson Jr. Aiden Hutchinson at 7. Trey Hendrickson 6.
I love that guy.
Once you get into it, incredible. The top 5 are the top 5.
We get that. Yeah.
It's Nick Bosa, Max Crosby at 4, Micah Parsons at 3, TJ Watt at 2, and Myles Garrett at 1.
But Tony, listen, you and I both know if if Josh Heinzel, for whatever reason he did, he finished with 8 sacks, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he finished with 13, 14, 15, he's in the top 10.
He'd be at 8 again.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
where he was on the list last year. So he'd be at 8 again. So when we're talking about the guys that fell off the list that have the chance to get back on, I do think the path for Hines Allen getting back on there is clear.
Yeah.
Right? Like he gets into that kind of pushing into the maybe getting to the teens, right? Then, he's going to be back on that list.
I'm telling you right now, we all know this. With him and Trayvon and Eric and whoever's that fourth inside guy, and they stay on the field and rush the passer on passing downs, it's going to be a very productive year, I think, for all three of those guys. And then we'll see about Ogba, and we'll see about Mason Smith and those type of guys. But I know those three, they're gonna feast this year. Listen, I've been saying it for a little while now. Our front four could be one of the more formidable front fours in the entire league coming into this year.
The other two returning guys who fell off the list from last year that are back in a Jaguars uniform with Ingram being gone, I don't think either of them have a very good chance to be on the list. Foye Oluokun, who maybe can get to the bottom end of that top 10. He was number 10 on the list last year. Right.
He dropped to 18?
He dropped 18 among off-ball linebackers.
That's what I don't know.
And
That's
ETN was 10. And I don't see a path for any of the Jaguars running backs to be in the top 10.
Do you have the top 10 list in front of you for backers?
I can.
I just wanted to see who
linebackers
I know,
or running backs?
No, the linebackers that Foyer's being. I mean, I know like Bolton's probably in there.
I think he was at 4.
Yeah.
Fred Warner 1, Roquan Smith 2.
Yeah, good.
Zach Bond 3.
Listen, now here's another like Zach Bond, great year last year, but prior to last year, I don't know if you knew who he was.
Right.
So I think he's a great linebacker. Don't get me wrong. I watched him play. Sure. I'm not saying he's not, but to go off 1 year, what if he has a bad year? Where are you dropping him to?
Right. Nick Bolton 4.
Yeah, he's good.
Frankie Lavu 5.
Okay. Yep.
Tremaine Edmonds 6.
Okay.
Levante David 7. DeMarvion Overshone in Dallas 8. Trey Greenlaw 9. In Denver, Quincy Williams 10. And then the honorable mentions ahead of him, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Bobby Wagner, Patrick Queen, Demario Davis, Matt Bonlano, Logan Wilson, Jack Campbell, then Foye.
Okay. I mean, that last 8, they're good players. Yeah. They're not like they're bad players. So, I don't know. That one guy from Dallas, Overshone.
Overshone, yeah.
That was 1 year, wasn't it, for him?
Had a monster year.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's just, I guess, how you look at it. But, I don't know if he'll get back in. That'll be tough for him to get back in. But, man, dropping 8, I don't know if I agree with that. Listen, I think we need to blitz Foye a little bit more. I think he's a good blitzer. I think he's shown that. And I do think he can cover. I do. And when you get a better rush, consistently, you can cover better. And he's smart enough to run it all and do it all, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the Overshone thing is weird. He tore his ACL. He tore everything up in his knee in December. So it's unclear when he'll be able to be back this year. And that was just, he hadn't played a whole
lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't
just year 2 for
having
him.
a great year is one thing, but being called the greatest or the top 10 of, that's kind of challenging.
Yeah, and they, when they were putting together that article, they also included in there for the guys in the top 10, wherever the highest ranking anyone had a specific player at, someone had Overshone at 4.
Wow.
Right? Wow. So obviously the reputation is there for that guy that if he is healthy, that's the expectation for him. And I think the write-up on Foye was fair. He's a tackle machine.
Yeah.
Right? Like the big plays aren't there. He's a good blitzer if you want to let him blitz. Right? It's like,
I think so.
Right. That's Foye.
He took that one pick back to the house 2 years ago. I mean, it's not like he's lost a step or anything like that. I think he can do more of that.
Yeah, and it was on Thursday Night Football, too. It was
the
whole country
Trevor's
can
best
be watching.
games. Remember that? He had the
New
knee.
Orleans,
We're all worried, and, man, he was unbelievable that night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But, our Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today asking, with the Jags not winding up with any players on these top 10 lists, how many do you think will be there next year? Your options in the poll, 0, 1, 2, 3, or more. Please send us the names of whoever you think that might be. And if you said 1 I would assume it's BTJ would be the one that you would pick for that kind of thing. Yep. But let us know how you would respond to that. We'll continue to talk about that as we go throughout the show here this morning. It is interesting. I saw a couple days ago they did a triplets rankings. Where the Jaguars landed in that list and the tier that they were in. We can talk about that a little bit as we continue along. It's a Friday edition of Jaguars Today here on 1010 XL.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 153rd British Open. Top-ranked Scotty Scheffler is away in the second round at Royal Portrush. He split the middle of the fairway. So much for that nerve-wracking opening tee shot with out of bounds to the left and right. Scheffler 3 under, 5 off the lead. The three-time major champ sporting a gray hoodie on an afternoon that's cooling off. Dark storm clouds are in the distance when gazing out to the Atlantic. Brian Harman does not have to mess with any of that. The lefty went out this morning and shot 6 under 65 to take command. Harman is 8 under for the week. Haotong Li is 1 shot back at 7 under. Li is 3 under today through 8. At 5 under par, Rasmus Højgaard, Tyrrell Hatton, Robert McIntyre, those 3 all in the clubhouse, also at 5 under. And on the course, Matthew Jordan, Matt Fitzpatrick, Rory McIlroy playing the last hole. He's 3 under, 5 back. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sun's out, savings out. That's what this summer is all about. Hurry to Kia on Atlantic this month to maximize your fun in the sun. Make no payments for 90 days and drive new Kias starting under $20K. Plus, it's easy to shop for new Kias when you know we have financing rates starting at 0. Take advantage of the sunniest time of year and drive away with the sunshine savings from here. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your Kia Coastal Connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head-on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Football season is almost here, so before it arrives, I'm going to get my home organized. Lauren Brooks here, Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, anywhere that needs to be organized. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off during the month of July. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Fire
Firehouse Subs has fries. Your hometown hero since '94 just cranked up the heat. Hot subs, crispy fries, golden, pillowy on the inside, and perfectly seasoned. Over 30 Jacksonville locations. Firehouse Subs, homegrown and now with fries.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Get tips from PGA pros on Brunch with the Tour with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here. Summer heat is on the rise, but don't sweat it. Big Chief Tire has your back with $50 off all AC services. Whether your system needs a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert team will keep you cool and road ready all season long. With 5 locations across Jacksonville, trusted service is always nearby. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, when a customer goes to buy a diamond, how do they know what they are getting?
Frank, that's a good question because what they know comes from the assurances given by the seller, and they can only judge based on the knowledge and reputation of the selling store. Now, over the last 25 years, I've seen some customers misled, and unfortunately, Underwoods was the bearer of bad news too many times. In the 1980s, we saw diamonds brought in with exaggerated grades and no laboratory grading reports. Then in the 90s, we saw some of the poorest cut diamonds ever, even though they had laboratory reports on weight, color, and clarity. Then the American Gem Society opened a laboratory and started grading diamonds for cut, and poorly cut diamonds got priced for what they were. Now we see diamonds from the internet and other places where diamonds are bought sight unseen with a lab report and a bogus appraisal. Unfortunately, not all those diamonds match the reports they're sold with, but how would a customer know? Probably today more than ever, the truest statement is, if you don't know diamonds, you better know a jeweler you can trust.
The time to buy an emergency generator is before you need it, not when you're sitting in the dark. Storms happen in a hurry in Florida, so be prepared. Protect your family and property with American Electrical Contracting. Call them today, 737-7770.
It's hurricane season. Protect your home with 904 Gutters with a Z. That's right. Z as in zone defense for your home. Water damage hits hard. 904 Gutters with a Z hits back harder. Search 904 Gutters with a Z and make the right call.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service on 1010XL.
Tommy, you brought up that you wanted to react to one more thing with the top 10 list, and we'll get to that here in just a moment.
Yeah,
talking about the interior offensive line stuff going on over there at ESPN. But before we get to that, let's get out to the phone lines for the first time this morning. Regina has dialed us up at 641-1010 today. What's going on this morning, Regina?
Good morning, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I wanted to bring up 2 points. You know, Ryan Nielsen's craziness rotation that he was doing with Foye and Trayvon and Josh Hines Allen, I think that really messed up their statistics.
Yeah.
So, that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is I'm going for broke here. I'm hoping there'll be 5 people in the top 10 besides BTJ and Trevor. It's time for Trevor to do his job. And that's, he needs to step it up. I hope Trayvon makes it. I hope Anton Harrison steps it up. And I want Tyson Campbell to have a great year. And I'll take your comments off the air. Go Jags!
Thank you very
Jags,
much,
for
Regina.
sure. Absolutely. Yeah, listen, I mean, Trevor needs to be in there. I
think he's capable.
He's got the tool. Heck, yeah, he's capable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. Anton, I don't know. I hope he comes to camp with, his hair on fire. You know what I mean? The coach called him out. It's not that big of a deal, but at the same time, when the coach says, well, if he wants to, he can be good. Like, that's I don't know. That's a dagger. Like, I can't believe my coach said that. Like,
I think it's
gotta
one
go
of
prove him wrong,
the big stories, the things to watch as they go into camp is how does Anton react to that?
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Because you don't say that, and we've been talking about it on the show. When I've had Jamal and John in with me, the last couple of days, I've brought it up, asked them about it. It's what do we need to see to indicate that the message has been received, right, from Anton Harrison? And it's important to point out with that the message doesn't get sent unless it needs to be received.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's the coach saying, they are saying we want him to be the guy. Yep. Right? Like we see that he could be great for us even potentially. He shows us that in moments. That's got to stop being moments.
Yep.
Right? Like this is way too important. You're going into year 3 now. There's obviously a lot of expectation that they're willing to put upon him.
Yep.
Right? And not let him duck away from that kind of thing. You can't hide. Right? Like we're watching you.
Yeah.
We see what you can be. And if you're not going to show us that, we're at least going to put the thought out there that we'll move on if we have to.
Yeah.
Is what that sounds like to me. We don't want to, but we'll move on if we have to. And how does he react to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, first of all, Anton is ridiculously athletic.
No doubt.
I mean, ridiculous. He can move with the best of them. It's all attitude. But that's the team. I don't want to go back into that, but I think you're going to see a new attitude from this O-line. They want you to finish blocks. They want you to be aggressive. They want you to be fired up and fire off the ball and get after it. And we're going to see who does that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be a big, component of what they're looking for. When they say we want guys who love ball, when Gladstone talks about the center from Tampa, Hainsey, that when he did play that one game, you should watch him play. Finishing the block, playing to the whistle, like getting after people. Like, that's what they're looking for. And I think if you're not showing that, and now granted, someone's got to replace you that's showing that too, and that's good enough to handle it, you're going to have a tough time. And I think that's what they're saying. They're saying, hey, listen, this kid, this young man is tremendously gifted, Anton Harrison. He should be our starting right tackle. But if we can only count on him sometimes, we got to have somebody in here that we can trust.
Right.
And that's going to do it. That's why they brought these other offensive linemen in as backups to compete at the same time, right?
And the comment is not, we don't think we can trust Anton. It's, we want to trust you. Give us a reason to trust. We are looking for a reason to trust you.
Right.
Give us that reason.
Just think about it, Tony. The whole team was inconsistent. If you think about it. Not every single player, but units, offense, defense, whatever.
Right.
It was inconsistent.
And I don't think, with what Regina just said, it's right. Right? Like the things they were doing on defense with the rotations and all that stuff, it did feel like there was no rhythm to anything that they were doing. And it may have taken some of their best players on that side of the ball out of situations where, I think if you play Josh Hines Allen the way that you did the year before, do I think he's a double-digit sack guy last year? Yeah, I do. Like, I do think he was going to have that kind of season last year. He didn't. The numbers are what the numbers are for all these guys having played on that side of the ball. But I don't think this year's defense is going to disadvantage themselves at their own expense. I don't think that's going to be part of whatever the program's going to be. And I know you mentioned when we were going into break that among the things that disappointed you most, stood out for you with these top 10 lists, was not only that there are no Jaguars that are on the interior offensive line list, but that the list would go as deep as it does and nobody gets mentioned.
It's really, I was surprised. I thought at least Makari would be on there, right, as a guard coming from Baltimore. But 26, that's top 10, that's honorable mention, and that's others receiving votes. I was expecting someone to show up there. Now, that doesn't mean they're not any good. I don't mean that, but that's just a little disappointing. And I'll tell you another thing while I'm at it, like even the tackle list, there are a lot of bookends. Like the Chargers, both their tackles. Philly had both their tackles. Detroit, Buffalo, Tampa, all 5 of those teams had both their tackles, not in the top 10, but one of them, but out of all of them. You just, man, you just know how important that offensive line is to every single team, but especially to this team and especially this year. So not to say they can't hit that, get in that range, but it was 26. I mean, look, they include the center, which they probably shouldn't, but you include the center. So that's roughly 9 starting threes, right? Guard, center guard out of the league. 9 out of 32.
Yeah.
and we're just not in there. So maybe we're around 12, I don't know, or 13 or 14, who knows? But it's got to be somewhere, in that better range, in my opinion.
Well, and I think with us trying to figure out exactly how improved they are going to be on the offensive line, right? Yep. It's hard to know until the pads go on and they have an opponent.
Yep.
Really is when you'll finally be able to tell. It's probably, you won't have a real sense of it until they get down to Miami for the practices.
Yeah.
Right, against the Dolphins. I think that's probably the first time that we'll have a real idea of how improved the offensive line is going to be. But the test is obviously the season when we get to it for these guys. How good can they be?
Yeah.
Like, if you look at this group, if everyone played at the top level of what you might expect from them at this point, how good is the Jaguars' offensive line?
All five across.
All five across.
With the right attitude.
You get the most out of them that you can expect out of this group of five guys. Mm-hmm. How good do you think the group is?
I think they can be top third, They can be top 12 offensive line.
Okay.
I don't need them to be top 5, even top 10. I just need them to be solid and consistent and not give up pressures at really critical moments, and not get pushed at really, that it was just bad. Now, not every game. There were some games they actually would come on there and be like, yeah, they actually played pretty good this week, but it wasn't consistent enough. So I'll tell you what I'm also looking forward to. That first day in pads is going to be fired up, because I know if I'm the offensive coach, I'm telling my O-line, listen, all off season, all I heard was the defensive line dominated. We're going to change that today, and it starts today. You know what I mean? And then they're going to come out, and there's going to be some pads a pop, and might be some uppercuts. You don't know. Somebody's going to get frustrated. But you know what? That's okay as long as nobody gets hurt. That's what we need. That's what this team has lacked under Doug Peterson. They didn't have that. I'm going to punch you in the face and keep punching and knocking you over and running you over, stepping on your neck, finishing blocks, having swag, that we return with real physical play. Right. What was the knock on us? Punch us in the mouth, and you're probably going to beat us, because we were more of a finesse, or it felt like a finesse-style team. So I think with all the change, everything they're looking for, I think you're going to see it on the field. Big time.
Yeah. Want to take a look around the rest of the National Football League when we return? It was a newsy day.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Yesterday, so we'll dig into some of that. Want to obviously keep the focus on the Jaguars as well. I mentioned the triplets rankings coming out a couple days ago. We'll let you know where the Jaguars landed on that as we continue along. It's a Friday edition of Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Andersen Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 153rd British Open, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. It feels like the Open again. Torrential rain now at Royal Portrush. Umbrellas and rain gear a must. What was with all that sunshine this morning anyway? Brian Harmon took advantage of the benign conditions early with a 6-under 65. He's in the lead at 8-under. Haotong Lee has his umbrella out. He is 7-under, one back. Lee, who finished third at the 2017 British Open, is 3-under today, making the turn. Matt Fitzpatrick has birdied 2 of the first 4 holes. He is 6-under, 2 off the lead. Scotty Scheffler birdies the first. He's going to have to play in this weather. He is 4-under and 4 back. Rory McIlroy finished in the rain, a 2-under 69 after a par at 18. McIlroy 3-under overall, 5 back. Certainly will make the cut. Very much in the mix heading into the weekend. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sport.
Remembering great moments in golf history, sponsored by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. In 1995 at St. Andrews, John Daly won his first and only Open Championship. The American finished the first 72 holes at 6-under par and then triumphed in a playoff against Italian Constantino Rocca. 1995 was also a memorable Open Championship for 2 legends. It was the final appearance for Arnold Palmer and the first for Tiger Woods. With this great moment in golf history, I'm Kevin Kugler.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
E.T. here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Hickett here. Think you got the ugliest garage floor on the First Coast? Your garage a crack-stained hot mess? Hold on to your squeegee. Checkmate Coatings is hunting for the worst garage floor out there. And the winner gets a free garage coating makeover. Whoa! Take 10 seconds. Snap a pic of that garage eyesore. Register at checkmatecoatings.com/contests for a chance to win a free floor coating. It's easy. Just snap a quick pic and enter for a chance to win at checkmatecoatings.com/contest. Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The coldest temperature ever recorded was in Antarctica in July of 1983. An unbelievably cold minus 128.6 degrees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. 2025 Jacksonville Jaguars camp open dates at Miller Electric Center are upon us for all practices at the Miller Electric Center. Parking lots will open at 7 a.m. Gates open at 7:45 a.m. and practice is expected to start at 8:30 a.m. Open practice dates are going to include Wednesday, July 23rd, Thursday, July 24th, Friday, July 25th, which is exclusive season ticket member day, Sunday, July 27th, which is your NFL Back Together Sunday with rookie poster giveaways. Monday, July 28th will be the first full day of pads. You'll also have July 29th, August 3rd, and August 5th as your open practices for the Jaguars in their training camp process. Right now, 89 degrees at 11:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
One of these days, we have like an off chance to actually turn Dylan into a Zeppelin fan, I think.
I tell you what, it's a great tune. Great job, Dylan.
Appreciate
Great
you.
Friday tune.
I would say these tunes are a lot better than, I don't know, like as a group as a whole, it's got the best tunes.
Yeah.
Best beats.
Oh, yeah. Zeppelin, man.
Oh, incredible.
It's a shame.
I saw recently, you've probably seen it, Chris Cornell does a rendition of Thank You on the acoustic, the former Soundgarden singer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable. That guy brings joy to my soul.
Yeah.
He really does, man. That voice of his, Chris Cornell, if you don't know who he is, check him out, man. He'll soothe you. He'll soothe the soul.
He can do that.
For sure.
That's for darn sure.
Yep.
That he can do that kind of thing. Yeah, check out Coach East.
Yeah, Coach East is awesome. Yeah.
You're asking me. The music video for that's pretty awesome too, because they got the car rolling and then it sounds like it just transitions into the guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know how Morello does what he does with the sounds that a guitar can make, but he does it.
That's right.
Right? And nobody else ever has. Let's take a look around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
The Pittsburgh Steelers and TJ Watt have agreed to a 3-year, $123 million contract extension with $108 million fully guaranteed at signing. Watt's deal makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history when he signs this deal for the second time. Watt, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and Danielle Hunter have all gotten extensions done this offseason. Now, all eyes turn to see what's going to happen with Micah Parsons and Trey Hendrickson. They're in Cincinnati. There have been rumbles here for the last week or so that the Detroit Lions are getting close to a deal getting done with Aiden Hutchinson. We'll see how soon or far away, that kind of thing might be. Wide receiver Mike Williams has informed the Chargers that he is retiring after an 8-year career. Williams was a first-round pick by the Chargers in 2017, spent 7 of his 8 seasons there. The Chargers are bringing back wide receiver Keenan Allen on a 1-year, $6.25 million deal. A Dallas County judge has sentenced Kansas City wide receiver Rashee Rice 30 days jail time and 5 years probation stemming from his role in a multi-car crash last year. Minnesota wide receiver Jordan Addison pleaded no contest as he and his legal representation worked to resolve a DUI citation that he received last year. Lloyd Howe has resigned as the executive director of the NFLPA.
Yeah, the union. Yep, for sure. Mike Williams went to one practice like, I'm not blocking. Harbaugh's like, you got to block. We're a run first team, man. You got to block.
Got to block a little bit.
I'm not blocking. I'm too injured to block.
Got to block a little. That's wild. TJ Watt, the highest paid non-quarterback for the second time.
Yeah, he's a beast. You know, you can count on him pretty much every game. Look, last year not as great. Played every game, but you know, good for him. You know, he's an absolute. You know, you look at his numbers. You look at Myles Garrett numbers since 2020. I mean, you're just like, oh my gosh, he's like 14, 16. You know, Trey Hendrickson, like before his back-to-back 17 and a half, he was, you know, 8 or 9, somewhere around that. But he's a tremendous player. They got to figure. I don't know. I think Trey Hendrickson's one of the better, if not one of the best, pass rush and defensive ends, and against the run in the entire league. I mean, he is just tremendous. I remember when he was at the Saints and he wasn't putting up the big monster numbers, but I remember every time I watched, I'm like, man, Hendrickson is always in the backfield, always creating problems, getting a couple hits on the QB and that kind of thing. And I wanted us to take him. And then, of course, he was a Cincyans, had a great career. They'd be foolish to not figure out a way. You know, with the cap today, I know they paid Higgins, they paid Chase. You know, they got a lot of money in Burrow. But, man, that guy, that's one of those premier positions, Stone, right? I mean, that pass rusher, you got to have a pass rusher that you can count on every single game to get after that QB. You got to have him.
No doubt. And it is kind of as these things are happening, right, and these contracts are going to be coming in. I can remember when we were all having the conversations about Hines Allen and the number and all that kind of thing. And even when he signed the deal, was like, hey, guys, in 2 years, it's going to be like 10th.
Right.
Right? Like, that's the way these things work.
Yeah. Yep.
So he gets the deal, and Hines Allen is making, what, 28-something, a little over $28 million a year. 28.25.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 31.
No, it's 28.
Okay.
I think a year.
Yeah.
That's the average.
On the average?
Yeah. I think there's 5 or 6 players now that are over 30, right, in the league. And, you know, that's not even including Aiden, who's going to be joining that group. It could be today.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all these things are going to happen very, very soon. Trayvon, I'm very curious to see what the deal is going to look like when they get a long-term deal done with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how much from a contract perspective for Trayvon Walker do you compare it to directly to the other guys that are getting paid whatever they're getting paid? Right? And how much of it is we need to slot him with Josh?
Right.
Right? Like, because I do think the Jags are in a position where they're going to have to balance exactly what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
I do wonder from Trayvon's perspective, say they were willing to offer him a contract that was a 3-year extension at $28 a year.
Yep.
Right now. Would that be enough for you to say yes if you're Trayvon Walker? Or do you play another year saying, if I'm a double-digit sack guy again, does that number push into the 30s?
Yeah,
potentially
it does.
For me.
I think it does. You know, and here's the thing for both guys, because we were just talking about, you know, Josh only having 8 sacks compared to the 17 and a half and being off the field. Well, guess what? Trayvon Walker at 10 and a half, and he was the same thing. Like, he was off the field way too much. And on top of that, he went from an outside 3-4 backer, edge rusher, to an inside 4-3. You know, defensive end, there's difference. You know, you're standing up to putting your hand in the ground. There's different reads, different things you have to do, responsibilities. So I think he's on the up and up. And if he has a monster year, double digits, whatever, double digits for sure, but I think he's going to be even better than that, more than just 10 and a half. Again, I think with Eric inside, you're going to see Because every time I watched him last year and Eric was inside and those three, or those other two, Trayvon and Josh Hines-Allen were out there, they had a tremendous amount of push. I mean, tremendous. They were always in the backfield for the most part. So I think we're going to see a great bit of production from those guys. And Trayvon, to me, I know I would play another year. Now, granted, I would, look, Josh signed it when? Last year? Before last year? Mm. So, hey, everything else has gone up in inflation. My gosh, everything costs ridiculous these days. So I would want a little bit more than that. If you're going to offer me today, if you're going to say to me, well, I'll give you 28 like Josh, I'd say, well, I think I deserve a little bit more, And I led the team in sacks last year, for the record.
Yeah, and we'll see. Yeah. Like, I expect that if they've had the conversations and Liam Cohen was at least willing to mention it right early on in the offseason that, yeah, they've started talking to Trayvon about an extension. The whole time this one has felt to me like if I'm Trayvon, I'm willing to wait. Like if I'm the Jags, I want to get it done now at a number like 26, 27 just to get it done.
Yeah.
Right? So that we can have him locked in for the next 4 years. He's not going anywhere. Yeah. Right? Would be the way that I'm looking at it. He's not going anywhere.
No.
And if I'm Trayvon, I'd be looking at it exactly like that. It's like, well, I'm not going anywhere. And I know if I
only
just wait,
get better.
Right? The contract's only going to go up. And you can look right now with the contracts that have gotten done, including TJ Watt at $41 a year, right? Myles Garrett at 40, Danielle Hunter at 35.6, Max Crosby 35.5, Nick Bosa 34, and then it drops all the way to Josh Hines-Allen.
Yep.
To 28.25. Right, so he's sixth.
You put him in their tier, playing wise? That's a good tier right there. You're talking about some of the best guys out there.
I think where he's getting paid right now makes sense.
Okay.
Right? Like as far as the tier kind of thing, I do think he's probably Nick Bosa getting 34. Maybe he should be a little bit closer to that.
But again, in his defense, right, we're saying he off the field still had 8 sacks. What if he had 12 or 13?
Yeah.
Right? Then you'd be like, well, no, he deserves to be up in that Max Crosby.
Way up there.
Yeah.
Right? And I do think it's going to be interesting. He's 6th right now. And we know the deals with Parsons and Hendrickson
they're coming.
They could be coming today, and Aiden could be coming today.
Yep.
So those guys are all going to be above what he's getting right now, right, when they get those deals. So 7, 8, 9. So now he's getting pushed to just at the bottom of the top 10 as you're trying to figure out what to do with Trayvon Walker at the same time.
Yep.
Now, Josh strikes me as the type of guy that he's not going to push it all that much, like we've seen TJ do a couple times now. We saw Nick Bosa do a little bit out in San Francisco. I don't get the sense that the personality of Josh Hines-Allen is to push it the way those guys did, for the contract thing. But at some point with him, along the lines of this conversation, say he does come back this year with one of these 14, 15 sack seasons. Right. And he'll be looking saying, look, I don't know how long I'm willing to be the 12th or 13th highest paid edge.
Yeah.
Right.
You could understand that.
For the last 2 years of his deal, it looks like we're on a collision course with that kind of thing for Josh Hines-Allen, and the team's going to have to figure out what that's going to look like while they're trying to pay Trayvon at the same time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about it this way. Say like I said, if he had 12, 13 last year, he wouldn't ask for money then, I don't think. But if he did it again, like this year coming up, he would. So it's kind of the same scenario. And I think the argument is, hey, man, I gave you 8 sacks, but let's be honest, I was off the field way too much, I think there's some validity to that. Yeah. So, look, it's a good problem to have. We have 2 really, really good bookend ends.
Right.
Really good. I mean, I don't care what the 15, 18, I don't care what the rankings are. For us and this team, they are an extremely good pair of bookends. And when they get that interior fixed and figured out and those guys really start getting after it, I think you're going to see tremendous production out of both those 2 especially.
And as we've talked about before, Tommy, and I know specifically you've talked about, they have a grade in the building, right, for how these guys are playing. Yeah. They have their own measurements for how these kind of things are going. I can't imagine watching Josh Hines-Allen that on those kind of things that he doesn't grade out very well.
Yeah.
Right? Like, from that perspective, I think the in-building grade is different than I think even the perception of Josh Hines-Allen might be, right? I believe that kind of thing about him as a player going in. I still think he has a higher grade than Trayvon Walker. Trayvon is a bit of a different animal, right? Like he's different. Like they're different enough that they are different, right? Between the two guys, they both can dominate in different ways with the way that they can do things. And I am curious to see when the Walker thing's really going to heat up. I know some people are asking, like, will it get done before the end of the season? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't
think
either.
we're waiting until next offseason before it really gets heated up at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I wouldn't. No rush to do it. Look, with Josh Hines Allen, I go by, just watching in the games and taking notes of the replay. And 2 years ago, he was wreaking havoc every single game. I mean, we've been over this. Remember?
Yeah.
We did the year before to last year, hurries, hits, and sacks, and they were all double to 3 times better, right? The hurries were better, not 3 times, but a lot. So the hurries went from 60, there was 90 down to 60 or something.
He had
like
a year in 2023 that was good enough that he's among the league leaders in all these categories for the last 3 years.
Right, and he was wreaking havoc all year long, and then last year he had some really good outings, no doubt. The majority were good, but then there were times where you don't see him. You don't hear his name, and you're just kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. But because the year before the 17.5 sacks, I kind of felt that way. He'd have these dominating performances, maybe back-to-back in games, and then you'd be like, man, I didn't hear his name today being called. It's kind of strange. But, look, I think they're all motivated. And back to the video of the games, I'm telling you, that brings a lot of joy to my heart just for the fact that you're just developing grit in there, man. And this team's lack grit. They just have. And who was saying it? Who was saying that we haven't had this kind of, Wingard was saying that, yeah, this kind of, fire and this kind of competitive. We haven't had this kind of culture in years. And that, I'm telling you, that's everything. Look, everybody's talented. Everybody's talented.
Yeah.
It comes down to what? It comes down to the will, it comes down to the want, and then it comes down to a little bit of creativity, right? But you got to have the two to have the third.
No doubt.
In my opinion.
Want to take a look at where the Jags ranked among the triplets, as well as an article up also over at CBS talking about under-the-radar players going into the 2025 season. And there were a couple of Jaguars that were mentioned on that list, so we'll react to that as we continue along here on a Friday edition of Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Hi, everybody. Mike Dempsey here for Duval Ford. Over on Cassett Avenue, Duval Ford's been around for over 110 years. They're a company you can trust. Yes, you want a vehicle, but you want great service as well. Service for your vehicle, great customer service. Duval Ford delivers in every capacity because they value you, the customer, in a partnership with them. It's why they've lasted as long as they have as a legacy company in Jacksonville, Florida. Big number 1 Duval Ford. Go experience it yourself on Cassett Avenue or online at DuvalFord.com.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. From Duval to the world.
All communication lines are clear.
Download the 1010XL apps for free on Apple and Android devices and listen wherever life takes you.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Denny Thompson here. You got to check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I can stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
Need the right tools for the job without the full-time price tag? Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach is what you need when you need it. From heavy machinery for commercial projects to weekend projects at the house, we've got you covered. We've been serving Jacks for 50 years. Visit Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach, just behind Aqua East Surf Shop, or call today. We also have event rentals too. Tucker Equipment Rentals. Tools you need without the price tag of purchasing.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
Santa Claus normally avoids Florida this time of year, but not this year. Christmas in July is happening right now at Beard's Diamonds. Get up to 40% off now through July 27th. Beard's showcases are stocked with all new fashion jewelry, exquisite colored gemstone pieces, and the best selection of diamonds in North Florida. Rounds, emerald cuts, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ovals, from a half carat to 10 carats and more. Come and find the perfect engagement ring now at Beard's and save up to 40%. Beard's Diamonds at the shops at Town Center and online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Hunters Know Patience is part of the game.
Just got to keep hunting.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz on the Nimnit Outdoors Show. Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning from 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Are you living with diabetic neuropathy? That pain and numbness in your hands or feet? What about chronic knee or shoulder pain? Maybe you've tried various treatments, but they've been ineffective. Now there's a solution. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso specializes in advanced pain management and offers breakthrough neuromodulation treatments for those conditions. His innovative treatments target the source of your pain, offering relief where medications may fall short. All procedures are performed outpatient with no hospitalization required. Just a chance for you to feel and live better. If you want to learn more, Dr. Formoso is hosting free informational classes where he'll explain the benefits of neuromodulation therapies and how they can help eliminate your pain. Spaces are limited, so call to reserve your spot now with offices on the South Side, West Side, and Jacksonville Beach. Relief is possible with Formoso spine and joint pain specialists.
"60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's number 55.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Superior products, exceptional service. On 1010XL.
Tony Smith, Tom McManus, Dylan Denmark here with you.
Fuel, not fuel.
Yeah, not quite the same.
No,
thing.
not quite the same thing.
Yeah. Let me know how you feel about that.
I'm going to check it out, yeah.
All Tool fans out there probably are aware of the no quarter cover.
Yeah,
check
that out, man.
Tool. It is something else. Want to get into a couple of articles that I've seen here over the last couple of days. Don't need to spend too much time on the triplets. It is what it is.
Yeah.
With the Jags being in the 5th tier, which is the just below average, is the title of the tier that they had in there, which makes sense. I mean, you look at the players that are available for the triplets. It's hard to pick a running back for the team even, but they have Etienne in there, Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
Okay. You know, that being at that spot, it drops them. I do think it was interesting reading it. It's 3 spots lower than they were last year.
Okay.
Right? So they were 16 last year, but they dropped them down to 19 on that particular list this year. I think there's a real interesting conversation that can be had about the 50 under-the-radar players across the league, with it being they did it yesterday or the day before, with it being 50 days away from the start of the season.
Right.
So it must have been on Wednesday that they put the article up. But the under-the-radar players, there were 2 picked for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Have you seen the article yet,
I
Tommy?
haven't, no.
If you had to pick 2 under-the-radar players who could shape the 2025 season, this is an NFL overall perspective.
Okay.
but 2 Jaguars players made the list. Who do you think that might be? And obviously that would eliminate guys like Trevor Lawrence and Brian Thomas Jr., from that kind of list because they're not under the radar.
Right.
Right.
I would think I would go Tank and Trayvon. Or is Trayvon under the radar? Not really. Ish. I mean, he's 18th overall, so he's not.
Right.
Oluwakin, I would think, is under the radar.
Mm-hmm. You were along the right path.
Yeah.
With the first one. They did pick a running back.
Okay.
For the Jaguars. They picked ETN.
Okay.
And the reason they picked ETN, the rationale from 22 to 23, only 3 running backs, McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs, posted more yards from scrimmage than ETN. Last year, he had a real bad year, obviously. Then ETN was one of the NFL's biggest disappointments last year. He was eventually passed on his own depth chart by Tank Bigsby, but ETN is a prime bounce-back candidate. He's just 26 years old.
Yeah.
The Jags overhauled their interior offensive line, and new head coach Liam Cohen crafted an impressive 2-headed rushing attack last year with the Buccaneers. I agree with all of that in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how confident I am willing to be in saying ETN would be one of the 2 heads that gets the benefit, right, of the Jaguars' backfield. I think he is still the more likely candidate between him and Tootin, especially early on in the season. I think he's the more likely candidate with a role carved out for Tank, right, and this kind of thing. But I think it's hard to say when you're talking about over the course of the entire season. There's a reason they drafted 2 running backs.
Yeah, for sure.
They want something else out of that position. Coming off the year that ETN just had, it's hard for me to say anything with much confidence about anything in the backfield right now.
Well, first of all, if you're going to utilize ETN, you got to get him in open space, right? And his best run is that outside run, where the guard kicks out the corner and they seal the end of the line of scrimmage, and he runs right up that chute, and he gets there good. He does a good job with that. But look, at the end of the day, you got 2 things that keep you off the field: fumble and you can't pass protect, right? I mean, that's it. Tank's not very good at it. Mm-hmm. He's fumbled. ETN's okay at it, but not as stout as you need him to be, right? There are times he gets run over.
Right.
It is what it is. I'm not saying get rid of, we've talked about ETN. Like, he's a good, we got to wait and see these other guys before I turn anything over. Absolutely. That's why I think he'll take the first snap in training camp. Not that that means anything, because I don't know if it really does at this point. But no, I think, look, if Tank can show, the thing I like about Tank is he can run inside as well as a lot of backs. You know what I mean? ETN, I know he's shifty. Remember how many hits he used to take? That poor guy used to get drilled.
Killed.
Right at the end of a run. But he's very effective in space, and he's a good look, bang on Urban all you want, but Urban was trying him at receiver to start him off his career. Do you remember that? And we're like, what are you doing? But the kid can run routes, and he's a young man, and he can catch. But with that being said, if these 2 guys that they drafted show that they can take over,
right, don't
be surprised if they do. You know what I mean? If LaQuint Allen can show that he can pass block and catch the rock and make some plays in the running game, they may go with the youth. A little more speed. Look, we know they want breakaway speed, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
And ETN has great speed, but I don't think he's got 80 yards deep. I'm running away from everybody kind of speed. I think Tank has it, and Tootin, without a doubt, has it. And they want that. And they also want their guys to play. But they're not willing to just give it to them until they earn it. So, look, ETN could be here all year. He could be, maybe put somewhere else if someone needs him. You know what I mean? You just don't know with the other 3.
Don't know. It's wide open at running back, obviously.
I think so.
All 4 of them have a chance to carve out some kind of role. We'll see how big those roles are or how much they change even week to week. Right on the football team. It's just impossible in my mind to predict that right now. The other under-the-radar player that CBS picked, Walker Little.
Okay.
Walker, they say, who has played 17 games just once, has been an on and off starter here, obviously. Now, with heightened expectations given the hire of Cohen, the addition of Travis Hunter, the Jags are hoping Walker can become the answer at left tackle. Little graded out solidly, if not great last season, though the Jaguars as a whole ranked in the bottom dozen in both pass blocking and run blocking grades.
Yep.
The Buccaneers offensive line was one of the game's best last year in Cohen's offense.
Yeah. Look, I like that he's there, and I hope they're right. I really do. Like I've said many, many times, his physical attributes, size, speed, quickness,
right.
Strength, all that stuff. He's got it all.
It's the right kind of list for him, given it's about could shape the 2025 season.
Tell you what, listen, I say it a lot, but if you can have a left tackle where you don't have to chip, you don't have to keep the tight end in, it gives you an extra target in the receiving game. You want them going out, and you want your tight end and your back to go out on routes, not have to worry about the defensive end that your left tackle can't block consistently. So I hope that's the case. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and he's a talented enough player to do all those things.
Yeah,
it just hasn't all been wrapped up the right way for Walker Little to this point in his career.
Inconsistent,
right? And it's the thing that you were talking about earlier in the show this morning, Tommy. There is an attitude thing on the team. And hopefully the attitude along the offensive line has been adjusted, and Walker can be a beneficiary of that kind of thing. Play a little nastier, man.
There's no way Tony Baselli, being at the position he's at, is not going to have an influence on what kind of offensive line we have, as far as what kind of play they bring to the table, as far as what kind of tenacity. That's who he was. That's who all of our linemen were. Right. They were friendly to us, because we were teammates, but they weren't that friendly on the field. Leon, Tony, those guys, Dave Weidel, all those guys, they were ready to kill you.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. So I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to the start of training camp and just seeing that difference. And you listen, again, talent's talent. And I think they've had plenty of talent around these parts. They just haven't had the right attitude. But like I said, I believe it's changing. It's going to be great.
Yeah. The bar is whatever the bar is, right, for the offensive line. If they can be right in that 10 to 12 range, then I think they've hit the target, right, for this year at least. And we'll see what they want to do with that going into next offseason. But it does feel like that's about the high water mark for what I would expect out of this offensive line. But that's okay.
That's good enough. It's fine. It's fine. And look, like I've said too, like you can't fix everything in 1 year. You can't. They're trying to, but it's tough to do that. So they're going in with what they have. And if it's not suffice, trust me, next offseason, O-line will be the top priority.
Right.
In the entire team. Because they got to get that right.
Yeah. It was obviously a priority this year, but they're not shy about making it a priority.
Different kind of priority.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? They didn't go after the big free agent, but they've got some really good, solid. They got solid players.
Yeah.
They didn't go out and grab a bunch of all-stars. Now maybe they turn into them. But they're solid for sure.
And if they're going to do it next year, it'll be in the second round or beyond.
Yeah, right.
We know that.
That's right.
They don't have that kind of ammunition to go after it next year. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today, with the Jags not winding up with any players on the top 10 list done by ESPN the last couple of weeks at the 11 different position groups that they did rank. How many will be on those lists next year? We'll get to our answers to that question, 0, 1, 2, 3, or more. The poll options today, as well as a couple last little bit of odds and ends for Tommy Mack as we wrap it up. Coming up next right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. This Open Championship update on 1010XL is teed up by TopDressing.com and 904 Gutters with a Z.
Westwood One Sports presents this special report on the 153rd British Open, sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. Steady rain at Royal Portrush late this afternoon, but the wind has hit a lull. Hao Tong Lee has joined Brian Harman atop the leaderboard at 8 under. Lee is 4 under through 11 in his second round. He's the only player in the field left without a bogey through 2 days. Harman went out earlier and shot a 6 under 65. Scottie Scheffler, number 1 in the world, 4 under par, 4 off the lead, now playing one of the hardest holes on the course, the 500-yard par 4 fourth. Scheffler hit his approach to 40 feet, good lag putt to 2 feet from there, so a par for Scheffler to remain at -4. Bryson DeChambeau followed his worst round at a major, a 78, with his best round at the Open, a 6 under 65. DeChambeau just inside the projected cut line at +1. I'm Ted Emmerich, Westwood One Sports.
With
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The reigning national champs will be taking on the Miami Hurricanes here in Jacksonville for the Jacksonville Hoop Showdown at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena on November 16th. 5 Gators have made the Athlon Sports 2025 All-SEC preseason team, including Jake Slaughter, first-team center, Jaden Boss, second-team running back, Eugene Wilson, second-team wide receiver, Tyreek Sapp, second-team defensive lineman, and DJ Lagway, fourth-team quarterback.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you. Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Want to support a locally and veteran-owned company? If you need a new AC, we should be your first and only call. Ideal Conditions keeps you cool. Just ask your AC. Call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Fall football starts in July with Donovan Air Electric Plumbing SEC Media Days. Catch it live or catch the best of. Locked down by Instant Keys. Catch the best interviews on demand at 1010XL.com.
Chelsea here. Summer is sizzling and so are the savings at Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, buy 4 windows in our patio doors and receive the 5th free. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. As temperatures rise, so do energy bills. Upgrade to Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrex windows. 2 times stronger than vinyl, remarkably energy efficient, and custom crafted to perfectly fit. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Who says there's no free lunch?
Join me, Hicken, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye! Brock Marion still chasing on 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T. And we're buying you lunch. Stay tuned for this sound.
Bye-bye! Brock Marion still chasing on 90-yard run.
To win your tickets, courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now for a free estimate on generator services, TysonInc.com.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts, visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs or maybe a logoed Sick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Tommy, wanted to, as we do when we have you on Fridays, we generally go back through the week at some of the questions we had.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll take you back to Monday. The question of the day that we had, which of these players in the Jags offense is most likely to have a breakout season in 2025?
Okay.
Your options, Tank Bigsby, Trevor Lawrence, Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr. Breakout means very different things for all four of those guys, given what they've all done to this point in their career. But if you had to pick one as the most likely breakout candidate, who would you pick?
I think Brian Thomas already broken out. So he's
so a breakout season for him would be a monster.
Yeah, he'd 90 plus. You know what I mean? He'd be just crushing it. I think Trevor, I don't know if I caught a breakout because he was good in 22.
He was.
You know what I mean? So,
25-8 that year.
Yeah, he was good, man. They were all good. The running game was good. The system was good. He was good. I need to get back to that. I'm going to go Strange.
Okay.
I really like Brenton Strange, man. I always have. I just think he plays the game the right way. I think he's very athletic. I think they gotta give him more opportunities. I don't know how many he'll get, but you got to think 3 to 5 targets a game, somewhere in that range, maybe 3. But he makes plays, and every time I see him with the ball, man, he runs people over. So you got to love that. So I would want to see more of that, and I think we will.
Our Tuesday top 5 this week, we were ranking the Jaguars offensive linemen going into training camp next week.
Okay.
Right? So I'll ask you, Dylan and I both, we did 2 different lists.
Okay.
Because we did that list and we did a who do you want to be the top 5 at the end of the year.
Okay.
So who do you think is the Jaguars' best offensive lineman going into training camp next week?
Okay.
Who do you want the Jaguars' best offensive lineman to be coming out of the 2025 season?
I'm going to say Macari is going in. I think he's going to be a really great addition to our team. I think he can do more than just play guard, but I think he's going to be really good. But I want Walker Little. I want this guy to turn into the beast that he's there's a beast inside there, Tone, just dying to get out. You know what I mean? He can be cool and everything else off the field, but on that field, man, he's just, and I think it's going to happen. I think this new O-line coach, I think Liam and the influence of Big Tony Baselli, that we're going to see it. So, yeah, Walker would be my guy.
I had him at the top of my list as well.
Yeah.
Right? The guy that I want to be at the top of that kind of thing. The Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day today, asking, with no Jags winding up on these top 10 lists here the last couple of weeks on ESPN, who do you think winds up on it next year? Your options in the poll today, 0, 1, 2, or 3 or more players wind up on there. We'll give our answer. We'll do that in the form of a 10-10 take.
10-10 Take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 Take is serviced by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air, your go-to local HVAC company, veteran owned and operated.
All right, Tommy, I think you and I would both agree on at least one of them.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. is going to wind up on that list next year.
Yep.
I will put Josh Hines-Allen back on the list.
Me too.
For me.
Yep.
So that would put me at 2. Trying to come up with who I would have as the 3rd. I don't think Foye gets back in there. So is there another candidate that I'd like for that kind of thing? I think Trevor has a chance to get there.
He does.
Right? But I don't necessarily expect it. So I think for me answering the question today, I'd put it at 2. And I'd have Brian Thomas Jr. and Josh Hines-Allen.
I'm going to go 3. Okay. And I'm going to include Trevor. And the reason I'm including Trevor is I think things are going to be different. I think the whole culture, you already seen it. The whole culture is different. Yeah, I think he's going to have a monster year. Let's be honest. Look, before last year, he was what, 8th? Wasn't Trev like top 10 at one point, maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, whatever it was? He was considered one of the top, at least 12.
Going into 23.
Yeah.
Coming off that 22 season.
Yeah. So let's see if he can get it back. I tell you, one of the advantages they're going to have is defensive coordinators can make educated guesses on what kind of offense they're going to run and what plays they're going to run, but they're not going to know it till they play them. And you're going to have that advantage. It's like Doug had it in 22, right? First read throws, got guys open. They were great. Running game worked. O-line was better. You know, the O-line was really good that year overall, statistically. So I think we're gonna see a big year this year offensively.
What about for you, Dylan? I assume BTJ would be 1. Do you have anyone else that you expect to be on that list?
No, I think he'd be the only one. The only other one I would consider highly would be Josh Hines-Allen, but I think he would be just outside the top 10 if I had to guess with ESPN for next year.
Yeah, I think he gets back to, again, as we said, he gets back to 13, 14, he's back in.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I think he will, too. I think both him and Trayvon will be those double digits. You know, Brian Thomas, I think, is going to have a monster year again. And I think in order for him to have a monster year, Trevor's got to have at least a good year, right? Because, the right receiver catches the ball from the quarterback, so that means he's throwing it to him, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So he'd have a pretty good year. Now, let's be honest, he's got to be that kind of quarterback. If you're going to lead your team, you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. I was reading, it was funny how you see like headlines and whatnot, and then you read the story, but Baker Mayfield threw the most picks last year as a quarterback at 16. You're like, oh, man. But he threw 41 touchdowns, so nobody cares.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like almost 3 to 1. That's 2.5 to 1. You'll take that all day long.
Right. Like that's the Josh Allen thing.
Yeah.
Like people can talk. That's the other guy that has been turning the ball over a ton.
Yep.
Right. The past 3-4 years. Like he's been the guy but it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Because they're winning. And they're winning because he's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, think about it, Tony. Favre, when he retired, one of the greatest of all time, he was 2 to 1 TD to interception.
Yeah.
2 to 1.
Yeah.
So that's, anything above that's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what is he? He was considered you're a gunslinger. Well, you're going to throw picks, but I'm going to throw twice as many touchdowns.
Yeah.
You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Brett Favre, if you've never seen the cut of him with Holmgren on the sideline up in Green Bay, and he threw just an inexplicable interception, where there's like 4 or 5 guys there in the coverage, and Brett Favre trying to think he can throw it through a wall on Brett Favre, and he throws it, and he comes to the sideline, and Holmgren's like, what were you thinking? Like, they're all over there, and Brett's like, they cover 3'd me, coach. And it's like, well, what can you do? Holmgren was just like, sit down.
Yeah, right.
Just get out of my face kind of thing. Before we wrap it up for today, let's say hello to XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
Matt Hayes joining us for Crosstalk today. Welcome home from Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
How
Great
were the media days, my friend?
Wild. It's basically SEC. It's like the Super Bowl media day times 4, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody blow you away, like from either just looking at them, talking to them, interviewing them? Anybody really stand out?
Actually, multiple people.
Yeah.
And I know people will say, well, you guys are all Gator homers, but DJ Lagway looks like
I saw the picture.
Dude.
Yeah, he looks big. He looks like a linebacker, fullback at least.
Yeah, and
He's ready to go, too, man. He says he's physically ready to go. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What do you got coming up today on Prime Time?
We're going to wrap up SEC Media Days. We're going to preview ACC Media Days next week, as well as the Big Ten. I'll be out in Vegas in the Big Ten, and Joe will be at the ACC Media Days in Charlotte.
Okay, cool.
Very nice. Yep. We'll be listening.
All right, fellas.
All right, brother.
Congrats, Tommy.
Hey, thanks, man. Thank you.
I know that you'll be back for Helmets and Heels this afternoon, Tommy, and I'm not trying to inspire some serious senioritis, which is a couple of hours before your show. But what do you have going on this weekend?
Well, let's see. After this, I'm going to jump into the podcast studio and do catching up with Tommy Mack. Then I'm going to have a little lunch, and then we're going to come back for Helmets and Heels. Tonight, I don't think too much. Tomorrow night, we're celebrating one of our dearest and nearest friends' 70th birthday, Miss Patty Bad. We love you, Patty. And then Sunday, out on the deck at Pete's Bar in Neptune Beach, the Dad Bods take the outdoor stage at 4 p.m. It's going to be hot, and we're going to be even hotter because we got new songs and we're ready to go.
Happy birthday to Coach Campo.
That's right. Happy birthday, Coach. Jeff Lageman.
Jeff Lageman.
And Fat Tony.
It is my birthday today.
Tone.
Thank you very much.
Waited to the end.
Yeah, me and Shad Khan.
That's right. And Shad Khan. Congrats. Yeah, happy
Not
birthday,
too
Mr.
bad there.
Khan.
I appreciate it, Tommy. Dylan, what do you got coming up this weekend?
I'm playing 18 holes of golf tomorrow and Sunday, and I'll be watching golf.
And hopefully,
golf, and
he'll be
more golf.
locked in. Dylan's locked in. He's got money on the line.
Oh, boy.
At the
That'll
show.
do it.
I'll be celebrating the end of the MLB All-Star break by watching the Braves and the Yankees
that was fun.
this weekend.
How'd you like the way they finished it? The All-Star game.
It's cool.
Yeah, I thought so too.
You
Yeah,
know, for an
Let them
All-Star
swing it
game,
out.
that's exactly
I
how
agree.
it should go.
Yeah.
You know, certainly don't want to end it in a tie. If Dempsey had been here this week, he would have talked about his lone MLB All-Star experience was the game that ended in a tie.
Right.
But we'll catch. I'll also be watching the British Open this weekend, so I'll see if I'm up early enough to watch any of it. I'll watch whatever part of it I can over the course of the weekend. Try to get a little bit more done on my book that I'm working on.
Cool.
If the mood strikes me, but that's what I got going on this weekend. We'll be listening for Helmets and Heels this afternoon. Tommy, appreciate you coming in with us. So for Dylan Denmark, for Tom McManus, for an on assignment, Mike Dempsey, who will be back with us on Monday. I'm Tony Smith. XL Primetime coming up next on 1010XL.
The Maxwell House Coffee will live on forever.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.